Hello everyone, I have finally had the time to work on a new video, and here we are. Thankfully it will be a longer one than the last time, but it will still be a bit shorter. Today we have Mr. Thrive and Survive trying to use the Doppler effect to prove that the Earth is flat. I'm honestly kinda surprised he is actually using a concept in physics to prove the flat Earth, as literally everything in physics disproves it. So in case you don't know what the Doppler effect is, here's a short video that was in the beginning of the Mr. Thrive and Survive video explaining what it is.
The Doppler effect. In Sheldon's words,
it's the apparent change in the frequency of a wave caused by relative motion between the source of the wave and the observer.
The Doppler effect is perhaps best explained visually. So here's a thing that is emitting waves. It could be a fire truck emitting sound, it could be a star emitting light, it could be a duck creating ripples on a pond. Those are all waves, and they all look something like this. We see the Doppler effect happening when the thing that is emitting waves moves. In the direction it's moving, the wavefronts bunch up, and behind it they spread out. If our object is moving towards a stationary observer, these bunched up waves are observed at a high frequency, and if the object is moving away from a stationary observer, the waves are observed at a lower frequency. So that is the Doppler effect, the apparent change in the frequency of a wave caused by relative motion between the source of the wave and the observer. It makes sense. But it gets interesting when you consider some of its applications. So let's say you are standing in the middle of a road. That's you, and a car drives past you very fast. As it does so, it honks its horn, because you're standing in the middle of the road. The horn to you might sound something like this. So it starts at a high pitch and moves to a lower pitch, even though from the driver's perspective, the horn is playing the same pitch the entire time. So what's going on? As the vehicle's coming towards you, the sound waves that it's emitting bunch up, and so are delivered to you at a higher frequency, which you interpret as a higher pitch, because the frequency of sound waves is pitch, and then when the vehicle passes you and is moving away from you, the sound waves spread out, and so you hear them at a lower frequency, a lower pitch. So that's how the Doppler effect works with sound. It also affects another kind of wave, light.
That was a solid explanation of the effect. Now, on to the flat earther.
Hey everyone, it's Mr. Thrive and Survive. You just got a little insight into what we're going to be talking about today, the Doppler effect and flat Earth. Meet Henry. There's Henry there. He's perplexed. Why is Henry perplexed? Well, Henry's perplexed for a couple reasons, but mainly because he doesn't understand what he just heard about the Doppler effect. You see, Henry is a recent graduate of a high-grade university, and however, even after learning all of the trash that they threw at him, he realized that the Earth was not exactly spinning. He realized that it's a flat Earth and not moving. So,
bullshit. I'm assuming you didn't have much education past 10th grade, because if you did, you would understand the Doppler effect at least a little bit. Mr. Henry here, being a fictional character, should stay that way, as the words flat earther and graduate from high degree university don't belong in the same sentence, unless it's to say that flat earther wasn't a graduate from a high degree university, or even high school.
When he started contemplating the Doppler effect and its, its applications to our life, he became perplexed. He was wondering, why does a train, when it's moving from west to east, sound exactly the same as a train moving from east to west? You see, because a train moving from west to east, its Doppler effect should be so diminished, in fact, that it would never happen.
Well, if they're going the same speed and putting off the same pitch, they would be the same. Otherwise, this argument doesn't work. As if the pitch was changed, the frequency would change, and therefore, when getting closer together in the frequency as the train moves, it would create a different frequency.
On a train heading from west to east, because he and the atmosphere are turning away from the sound waves faster than they are traveling towards him. In fact, if a lightning bolt were to strike to the west of Henry, he should never hear the thunder, because the speed of sound is less than 800 miles per hour, and old Henry he realized what they were teaching was the Earth was spinning away at least 800 miles per hour at his latitude. Now, if he was down closer to the equator, it'd be 1,000 miles per hour every second that went by.
Okay, going based off your picture and what you have said, only two things in that argument has made sense. That being the speed of sound is less than 800 miles per hour, and the Earth spins faster than 800 miles per hour. As the speed of sound is about 343 meters per second, or approximately 767.3 miles per hour. However, everything else you have stated is completely and utterly false. The entire Earth, including the atmosphere, is moving. The source of the sound is moving along with the Earth, as are the sound waves. To make it simpler for your brain, here you go. If you are talking to someone in the same car as you, and you are speeding down the highway at 70 miles per hour, you're still going to hear your friend, and your friend's still going to hear you, as the source, yourself, and the sound waves that you made when talking are moving along with the car.
He would be farther and farther away from the sound waves, and yet something from the east he would hear much sooner than something from the north or south, correct?
Incorrect.
We don't witness this, do we? This is absolute proof that the Earth is not moving. Absolute proof. Find someone who can get around the Doppler effect. Not only does it work with trains, but it works with lightning, it works with anything else, because when sound is involved, there are certain principles and properties that just can't be changed.
Well, I am that someone who's gotten around the Doppler effect. The only proof you presented here is that you have the intelligence equivalent to that of a newborn baby. Maybe even less so.
So, if you're moving away from something at 800 miles per hour, and it's traveling towards you at 790 some miles per hour, it will never catch you, will you? Well, you might get it on the other side of the Earth, but I think the sound would be too diminished by that time.
Well, that's the end of the video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. And I promise I won't make you wait a month. Hopefully.